Dear participant, I would quickly like to go back to our eminent keynote presenter, Mr. Ahmad Altarawneh from Dubai Police General Headquarters UAE for his keynote speech on city as a platform towards data-driven, enabled, responsive cities. The stage is all yours, dear Ahmad.
Thank you, Bridget. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, I can very clearly.
So I am the exception to the rule, I guess. I'm the guy who hits all the knocks with the technology. Anyway, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you, all of you being here. I'll be quick. I'll be speaking a bit about responsive cities and the role of data, enabling data and driving data and operating the city as a platform, and what is a responsive city. My name is Dr. Ahmad Altarawneh, and I've been with the Dubai government for many, many years, and I'm serving currently with the Dubai Police as a senior consultant in digital transformation, services, project management, PMO, portfolio management, and so on. Before that, I was a bit with RTA, and before that, I was a bit with the Executive Council of Dubai. So basically, responsive, I go directly to my subject. Responsive city, we'll speak a bit about the concept, city as a platform, and role of data in the development of what a responsive city is all about. Basically, a responsive city is an emerging concept started maybe somewhere around 2014-15 by ZTH Zurich, which is sort of like an innovation lab type of university. And it was backed up by Singapore University, the University of South Carolina, and a few of those academics started saying, okay, so we've started with electronic cities, we've gone to smart cities, and now we're going to digital cities. What's next? So this is an iOS, we're in iOS 12 and then 13 and 14, so on. So what is the next generation of cities? And they called it responsive city. And sort of like it explores and harnesses what a smart city does. And it looks at technologies. It looks at four distinct pillars, four distinct rooms, people, processes, technologies, and resources. And it takes the city to a level where it's actually co-created, and everything in it happens with the people, by the people, and there's a decision-making process that's co-created between the city as a platform and the people, the city users, the citizens. And so the city is ran by officials or whatever, but the society as a whole and all the components of the city actually co-create the city with whoever is in charge of running the city. Of course, we're talking about many sectors: education, tourism, hospitality. All of them become integrated in this city as a platform. So basically, you know, we have cities, we have advanced infrastructures, we have smart solutions, we have IoT, which is the Internet of Things, the IIoT, which is the Industrial Internet of Things. But we're trying, with a responsive city, we're trying to take things to a level where we have the Internet of Everything, IOET. And this is where big data, humongous data, open data, all play a big role into this city as a platform, making the city responsive to the needs, wants, and desires of its citizens. Main goals that we're looking at here is basically the quality of life and happiness, and reducing customer efforts, reducing city users' effort, and having everything in real time, not periodic. So you're going into a data-driven, data-enabled model. The city becomes all as one integrated platform. Everything talks to everything. There's a read-write capability that's going on in the background, in the back office, and everything's happening in real time. Next generation services that are low effort, things such as conversational AI, click, pay, and get type of things, talk to the city, report things to the city, and this is where AI is going to, tremendous levels of running the city. All kinds of technologies in the pillar where it says technologies are working all together. And of course, one of the main drivers is what we call a digital twin. Now, a digital twin is not a new concept; it's an old concept started out in the airline industries. But now we have taken it into the responsive city. This is where you actually create a digital copy of the city that is totally integrated between all sectors. Everything that exists in the city, between people, processes, technologies, resources, everything, streets, everything is actually digitally twinned to the city. And this is basically where you co-create things, and we do what we need to do in the digital twin, and then of course impact the city by those decisions. This is where your big data goes to an open data platform. This is where people, like I said, co-create. This is where we take things into the Internet of Everything, and this is where we make the city real-time, read-write capabilities across everything. And of course, you're after achieving a happy city user. You're after achieving top quality of life, lowest customer effort possible. You're dealing with a city that's actually so responsive. It's almost utopia. And I understand that this is possibly many years to go. However, the trip has already started. The journey has already started into the responsive cities. We are seeing a lot more literature and a lot more research into making cities responsive. Many of us are regarding it to be the umbrella of all cities now. This is where we actually take city into as a platform and bring it into what we call a responsive city. And here, of course, the data plays a big role, a major role. 99% of our work is within the data and creating the needed data sets that creates the real-time decision making, the read-write capabilities between all kinds of systems integrated together within the city, takes us from periodical to real-time, from fragile to agile, and basically this is where teams and teams of data scientists and analytics and all kinds of people are working together, like I said, in 4 distinct rooms: people, process, technologies, and resources. This is where we do a lot of RPA, and definitely we do a lot of process mining, and this is where these things are happening in real time. Risks identifications are happening in real time, and so on. And definitely that has a lot of effect to make governments resilient. And so we become a resilient digital government, but we want to call it a resilient responsive government from now on. This is where a close-knit community with accessible social services, this is where everything becomes accessible. This is where we break down all the barriers. This is where we serve the environment really best. This is where our transport plans can actually happen. And it's going to take a lot more than the 5G. I think we may need to start speaking with this kind of city. I think 5G is an enabler. However, what comes after 5G is probably what's going to make the cities much more responsive. So if you take, for example, Dubai, for example, hopes to be 25% autonomous by 2025. And I think we're approximately 17% there now. This is where this data, this city as a platform, this IoT, IOET, or Internet of Everything, needs to be kicked in and impacted to impact the city to become responsive. This is where the economy becomes responsive. This is where you really can take real control of circular economies and serve the sustainable development goals around the world by the United Nations and so on. So I'm talking a bit fast because I was told I only have about 10 minutes, but these are these are some of the facts. So basically, this city is dynamic, the city is agile, the city is real-time, not periodic. The city is decision making is made in as real time as possible, near real time as possible, or real time. This is where everybody co-creates together, and it's a much different concept than a digital city. Okay, the main idea is to to co-create everybody in society, and all the components of the city work together. And that definitely, like I said, big data plays a big role here. This is where also next generation services, preemptive services happen. This is where citizens can actually choose what services they want and how they want to interact with service channels and so on. This is where smart centers become like just a norm, and services become totally low effort and integrated in our lives, and we can do it, like I said, in a click pay get or a click get type thing if there's no pay involved. Definitely this is where again a city needs to take advantage. The city as a platform operates on a big data platform as well, and everything is cloud-based. There's a hybrid model that's happening, of course, to help the components of the city to catch up. So basically, you can't go into this model, in a leap. This is something that happens cumulatively and gradually. This is again also where costs are reduced to a minimum, sustainable growth happens, and public safety goes to the max. Services go as low effort as possible. Monitoring and controlling, social listening, social monitoring, everything. The whole city just like a beehive, and everything happens together with everybody. There are challenges, and these are the data protections, responsible processing of available data, transparency and ethics, of course, is one of the major blocks that's keeping us from taking cities to become responsive right now. Preventing potential data misuse is definitely one of the big challenges that needs to be resolved. So basically, I apologize about being so quick, but just to sum it up, responsive cities are the umbrella of everything that's below it. So digital cities and smart cities are actually now components of the responsive city. And again, just to finalize and summarize, this city is made up of 4 different rooms working together. The room of people, and the room of processes, the room of technologies, and the room of resources. So all of these 4 rooms are working together, totally integrated. Co-creation is a norm. City users and citizens are the main driver. All the city components are integrated together. They work together, making the city a beautiful place to be, enjoyable, definitely low effort city, and totally integrated in our lives. And this is where people actually become the major player, the center of the city, rather than the other components each working on its own, as part of the city. Thank you very much. I would be more than happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Well, thank you very much, Ahmad, for your wonderful keynote speech. And as of now, I do not see any questions. However, if there are any, I will ensure that I'm shooting out an email to you with the questions.
Okay, great. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, and sorry to keeping you waiting.
I apologize for the mistake.